Are. All right, folks, welcome to another episode of our Zoom Ups. Michael Huggins in the house. Got my co-host Scott. What's up?
The old guy in the garage. What's up,
Old guy in
man?
the garage, making stuff happen. Cool. Well, hey everyone, we got an exciting story to share with you today. One of our esteemed team members has been here for years, behind the scenes, working hard, putting deals together, and where he came from and how he's using our program is a really interesting story. He's got a lot of great nuggets to share. But the idea behind all these is that you get connected to somebody or some story or some idea inside of our community because we want results like this to happen for you. What is possible if you decide to become a real estate investor, get educated, start taking action? Who knows what your life could turn into? So we're excited about today's episode. Scott, you want to add anything?
I do, man, because he's on my crew, man. I met his wife and him. We actually hung out in Texas with his mom and dad. We broke bread. He is a fantastic family man. He is a borderline genius with some of the ideas he comes up with. So I can't wait to hear what he's got to say today. So everybody, Stephen Richardson.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah.
Appreciate the kind words there, Scott. Yeah, all sorts of great ideas. I just don't have the army to execute the ideas, which is all I need, right? That's the missing piece. So, all right, let's do this gallery view. I prefer that. Well, guys, my story in real estate started out actually in business ownership and entrepreneurship. Started out when I was a kid. I was the top sales kid for anytime we do fundraisers and things like that, by a mile. And so I always loved selling and promoting and just really pushing things and winning. I'm an executive and that's kind of my core. And I always questioned the whole approach of go to school, get good grades, go to college, get in debt, get a good job, right? I even remember having conversations with my mom about, Mom, why? She was like, I don't know, honey, this is the way I was taught. Are you gonna do it or not? I was like, I guess so. And so went through college and it was electrical engineering and then it was music business. And I was like, this around that time, it was around 2005. That's when the Carlton Sheets came out with No Money Down, right? And I was like, that's it. He had the helicopters and the beach houses and the whole lifestyle thing. And it was late night TV. I was probably studying or something or trying to study. And I was like, that's it. Forget this college thing and getting a job. I want to be in real estate. And that's my way to build wealth and retire early. It's what we all want, right? Is just that financial freedom, that time freedom. And so we get married, my wife and I, and we start a family. And I'm trying to finish school. And so I started like handyman work. I'm extremely handy. I'm an engineered mind. And so my handyman thing, which was very flexible, allowed me to go through school and finish some school, turned into remodeling. Before long, it was like, hey, Steve, can you remodel my house? I was like, I can figure it out. And so that grew into my remodeling company, Fresh Ideas Home Improvement. Started it back in 2006. And I grew that for about 10 years, but it wasn't something I wanted to grow. I didn't go into that going, I want to intentionally build a remodeling company and have crews and payroll and benefits and headaches, right? And what I learned was, as I was growing my crews and scaling and growing, the more money we made, the more headaches I also had, the more apologies I had to give to my clientele of, sorry, my guy fell through your ceiling. I'm sorry, they painted the wrong thing, whatever. So I became a professional butt kisser over that course of time as well. But it wasn't intentional, right? It was, like Michael likes to say, just kind of by default. It wasn't taking control of who I was and where I wanted to be. It was a rut. It really was. And so it was a constant wearing multiple hats. I was marketer, I was accountant, I was project manager, I was supply chain manager as well for the supplies to make sure everyone has the things they need to get the jobs done. And zero about actual real estate investing. So I knew a lot about how to rehab a house, but I knew zero about actually how to invest in property, how to create deals, how to structure deals. And that was definitely the missing link. And it revealed itself in my first deal. So 2007 comes around and we're watching enough HD TV to get in trouble. Okay. And about that time, my wife's like, you know what? We've been doing this long enough. Let's buy a flip. I was like, okay, you know, around 2006 and 2007, things were growing. Everyone knows the market was hot. We bought a house 2007 and market crashed, right? And so my ARV due diligence was based on artificially inflated prices. And I was like, oh crap. So there goes my awesome ARV. And it was a huge house. It was 2,600 square foot home with a massive pool. We're talking a 16 by 32 foot pool. Took up the whole backyard. That alone was a drain on my time, energy, and money. And so I like to call it this way. I went into investing as an amateur. And I went in as an amateur and I came out as an amateur. And I was like, ugh. And we made some money. We had to move into the house, and you know, I'd work all day at my remodeling business, and I'd come home and work on the project at night. I'd work on the weekends. I was literally a slave to my poor decision, my ignorance of my decision. And we made some great money, but it took a lot of time. And honestly, I would have rather taken a $10,000 loss versus the amount of time that it sucked of my life, which I can't get back. 10 grand we can make back pretty quickly with knowing what we know, but that time I can't get back, and that's very costly. And that's one thing I want to advise all you guys is guard your time like your life, because it literally is your life. So guard it and make wise decisions. Money is, we're printing money right now. It's everywhere. It's very abundant. Deals are very abundant. Other people's talent and experience is pretty abundant, but your time is not. And so guard it like your life depends on it, because it does. So we close that deal, and we're in Oklahoma City, which is, I'm from Texas, Arlington, Texas. And I went to Oklahoma State and met my beautiful wife there, and she's from Edmond, Oklahoma. And so 10 years of building this business and dealing with this flip for a couple of years. And we finally sell it and pay off all our debts. And I got this chunk of cash, and I've got all of my stuff moved into this yellow Penske truck, and we moved to the East Coast, 1,000 miles away, because into Charleston, South Carolina. And it was a great move. It was a leap of faith. It was definitely a God thing, because people would ask, why are you moving? We're like, it's beautiful. You have to come and find out. It's like, what, you got a job there? No. You got friends or family there? No. You a military movie there? No. We wanted to live there. We started living intentionally. Because we know we only got one run at this dance of life. And so we wanted to live. And if we have to do a grind, we want to have the grind at an outrageously gorgeous place. And if anybody of you know about anything about Charleston, it's gorgeous. And it's got the beach and culture and history, and it's just a great culture. And so we love it here. We're very thankful. So we're here in Charleston, and I'm working on building my wife's photography studio. And that's one of my weaknesses is a little ADD, and I'm a serial entrepreneur. So if I see a shiny object that looks like opportunity, I'm like, ooh, what's this? Ooh, what's that? Right? And that's a lesson I want to pass on to you guys. Even if you could be good at it, and even if you could make money at it, should you do it? Right? There's a big difference on, yeah, I could be great at this. I could make some money at this, but should I do it? Does it align with my long-term goals or even my short-term goals? And so we started a local magazine, which print is dead, so I don't know why we did it, but we did it. We built her photography studio going up, right? And at the time, around this time, I had been introduced to this group. And so it was like a little bit of real estate in this group and a little bit of things all over the place. And I was spread thin, and I wasn't laser focused. And that's very costly as well, right? So anyways, we moved to town, and I'm driving around. I'm like, man, I want to get back in the game, right? I learned a lot from that first deal. I left 20 grand on the table just by not negotiating it properly. I was like, I know I can do this. I just have to find somebody who knows more than me. And so I connect with an individual of all people, Mr. Bill Omi, who was on here last week, I believe, out of Georgia, who's killing it. And he said, look, Steven, if you know what we know, it's incredibly easy It's relatively simple. But you have to know things, right? He said the rare thing in this market is not money, it's not deals, it's specialized knowledge. It's people who know how to find deals, who how to creatively structure deals, and who can creatively solve problems. And he goes, when you know this stuff that we know, it's easy. Money will come to you and deals will come to you. I go, really? He goes, yeah. And I was like, all right, I'm in. Unfortunately, I wasn't all in. Remember, I was shiny object syndrome, over here and over there and over there and over here. And finally, we got focused, finally. But, a couple years in, I finally do my first real estate deal. I raised the money. I structured the deal so that I got paid during the project, because we've got bills and I got kids to feed and bills to pay. So I wanted to make sure my cash flow was good. We made good money there. And it was good. We did about a deal or two a year until, honestly, this last year is when we cranked it up. And it was kind of around March when the world shut down and decided to go lockdown. I was like, you know what? Let's go crazy. And I bought up a bunch of stuff. And so right now we're under contract for 2 out of 3 flips right now. So I've got a flip in Oklahoma City. This is my second deal that I've done 1,000 miles away. And it's literally my job on overseeing this project is sitting right there on that recliner and on my phone on homedepot.com on the app and calling and texting and checking out pictures. That's all the work I've done on this thing. The majority of this project was done by the time we visited it about a month ago and crossed the threshold. It was really great. So I'm making money without seeing the property and stepping foot in the deal, which is great. We bought a rental last year in Oklahoma City as well with some equity partners. And then one of my favorite deals of this year was a package deal. So I finally, a couple of years ago, going back and forth, a couple of years ago, I've decided to grow this community here in Charleston because I was the only one here for many years. And I was like, it's very challenging when there's no local network to plug into. And a lot of you guys are really blessed. If you're in some of these large cities that have a budding, growing community, take full advantage of it, man. Full advantage. Because I don't know if you know how much of a blessing that is in itself. A huge advantage. And so being like a lone island out here on the East Coast at the edge of America in Charleston, there was nobody within this community yet. And so I had to build it. And so one of the first guys I got started here, he's great. I hope you guys have him on later this week. My brother Noah. He's killed it in real estate. And we started growing this community. And it was about a year ago, or in January, we had a property tour at one of his first flips. He did a bunch of rentals, but he did his first flip. We were doing a property tour. So we're inviting a bunch of folks over. And one of the guests connected with us. She looking to get started. And she was a realtor, young, a go-getter. And she was like, hey, Steve, I've got a client I'm working with who's looking to sell his portfolio. Would you be interested? I'm like, yeah. And so it turns out he was selling 6 single family homes, all in these prime locations that we have been eyeing for years in the Charleston area. Little single family homes though, 2 1s and 3 1s. And ARVs are going to be around 130,000. We bought them for 58,000 each. And I structured the deal pretty creative, I have to say. So I go to my equity partners like, okay, hey guys, I got a deal here. I'm looking at 6 single family homes and I'm going to need $120,000. They're like, all right. I was like, here's the return on investment. Here's the pro formas over the next year and over the next 3-5 years. This is what it looks like. They're like, all right, it looks great. I connect with somebody in town who's offering me better terms on the hard money. So it turns out I go back to my equity guys. I tell you what, guys, I don't need 120 grand. I only need 60 grand for 5 houses. Instead of 120 grand for 6, I just need 60 for 5. And they're like, all right. So I was able to raise 60 grand, buy 5 houses with this equity group, and really keep 1 for free on my own. So I actually separated that out of the deal with them. They are fully knowing about it, but it was great. I was like, buy 5, get 1 free kind of a deal. And so we're doing some turnover with the units right now, and I'm flipping one of them. We're under contract with a great deal that we're going to have a walkthrough before too long of a joint venture that we're doing with some other members here in the community. And it's really great. So what I've found is that even though I was all by myself for a while, as I decided to grow this community, not only do money and funds come my way, but great deals that I'm literally executing right now are coming from me deciding to grow this community as well. And we're on an amazing path. We're very excited, and we're honestly just getting started. So you got questions for me?
Cool, man. So how long have you been a member, and what was it that you saw that made you decide, finally, I'm going to do this?
I'm an easy sell, you know. I'm easy if I can connect, because I can connect the dots and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And it was Scott's briefing. You know, I was like, okay, I got 2 opportunities here, put them to one, beautiful ecosystem. What else do I need to know other than, is it legit? Yeah, it's legit. It was pretty funny. You know, my wife and I, we did a lot of due diligence too, because she's the skeptic, right? She's like, yeah, hold your horses, buddy. But it was really seeing I'm a systems guy as well. And so it was seeing that it wasn't just, oh, we're going to teach you how to flip a house or teach you how to buy rentals, right? We use this term, it's an ecosystem. It's an immersion, right? You guys want to learn Spanish? What's the best way to learn Spanish? Move to a Spanish speaking country, immerse yourself in the culture, right? And this community had a culture that I couldn't pack my bags for a couple months and move to real estate academy, but it was the next best thing. It was all day, every day, at least several times a day, every week, week in and week out, year after year, of real estate, entrepreneurship, personal development, growth, high performance. And it was all encompassing. It wasn't just, hey, this is how you flip a house, right? Which a lot of gurus out there teach and other people focus on, because that's really all their niche. It was, let's get you from where you are now to your financial freedom, your exit number, your time freedom place, in the quick, fastest, most efficient way possible. I'm an efficiency hog, right? I look to tweak and make things better and finer, right? That's my thing. And looking over the entire landscape of opportunities out there, this had all that and more. And Scott will tell you, I was always like a fork in his side. The first couple of years, I was like, yeah, let's try this, make it better, make it tighter, make it better. And I'm sure for after about a year, he was like, oh geez, Richerson. But you know, a lot of great things happened. I remember, let's just put it this way. I remember when this group had to individually log into Google Drive under one account, okay? It's been a while, and it's come a long way from that. And it's been awesome. And I have to say, so it's really an all-encompassing thing, guys. Not everyone wants to flip houses. Not everyone necessarily wants to be a landlord. But if you want to refine yourself and get to a different point financially and personally, this group had all that and more that I was looking for. And I'll say this one thing before you guys ask a question. One of my favorite mentors says this: the person you are today will never fulfill your financial goals and your dreams, right? It's like, ooh, how dare you say that? But it's so true, guys. The person you are today will never fulfill your biggest dreams, right? What do I mean by that? It's kind of mean. That's harsh, Steve. How could you say that? You literally have to become a different person to get it done, right? Michael's a different person. Scott's a different person. I am totally a different person, right? And outside of education and classes and things, the personal development, the opportunities to lead and speak in front of others, I've been in front of more rooms now than I can count And I actually love it. I get energized from it. Like, this thing is going to be wrapping up in 5 minutes. I could go another hour. And that kind of changes in your person and who you are has to take place. Now, does it mean you have to be with a marker in front of 100 people? No, but you literally do have to become a different person for you to fulfill your financial goals.
Cool.
Questions?
That's awesome, man. I had no idea about that background and how you just basically took all these little pieces that didn't look connected. Now you're like, hey, I got a business. Not only that, but I got my family involved, and we've totally turned things around. So I love it.
Yeah.
What an exciting story, man.
Yeah. The girls are on payroll. They were just helping me clean up one of the rentals just this Saturday. So learning that hard work, and look out. I got a 14-year-old and an 11-year-old, and they will conquer the world. I'll tell you what, they're going to be hardcore. You better look out, world.
Nice.
So.
Right on, man. Well, guys, be sure to catch this recording and share with other people. Stephen has an amazing story, and we want other people to get connected to that. So definitely share this recording. And for those of you catching it live, we have a couple more videos now, whether they're live or recorded, for you to connect with, so you can learn more about what is Steve talking about? What is this community? What are the benefits, and how does that work? Scott, what would you like to throw in here?
I would like to throw in the ecosystem thing. So that immersion that he talked about, the nice thing about it was, if you jump into this community, you're going to find folks that I found my professionals here. When I was sitting in my study group, I'm sitting next to the guy that funded my first fix and flip. I'm like, oh, remember what we talked about in that study group over here where you had that $750,000? I got a deal. So that immersion into a community that's working together, right? Like, that's what I love. Like, I met Michael Huggins when he was 22 years old and was a Jiffy Lube guy, and I've seen him grow. But we've grown together, right? I didn't bring that guy in. I was like, hey, man, let's work together, right? And that's why we're doing these things. So if you're looking for a group that believes in, that is a big cheerleading group, a supportive group, if you're looking for a group that full of opportunity, like Steven talked about. I love speaking now. So if you're coming in and you've done some public speaking, there's a place for you. If you're a contractor, there's a place for you. If you're a broker, there's a place for you. If you're an attorney, there's a place for you. If you're a rookie like me and have lost everything before you got here, there's a place for you. So, get back in touch with the person who invited you here. We got some stuff coming up this week. And it's today is what? November, what's today?
16.
All right, so I'm putting that on the timestamp because you may see a recording after the 16th. But we got a workshop coming up on contract for deeds and a little bit of velocity banking. So you want to talk about that, bro?
Yeah, folks, I know a lot of people are sitting there going, man, I wish I could get into real estate. Well, one of the best ways to understand how to control property and get cash flow is a contract for deeds strategy when you stack velocity banking on top of it. This is like multi-dimensional thinking, because then you also get the tax benefits from it as well. So you're gaining cash flow, you're preventing the confiscation of your wealth through tax savings, and you're paying them off even faster so that the banks aren't taking much of your money either. This is going to be an awesome day. It is by invitation only, so you got to get the private link, get registered for that. Only people who are registered will be let in. But I'm really thrilled about it. I'm going to be there early. I'm going to be taking notes. I already told a bunch of people I'm busy that day. Don't even try calling me. I'm focusing. So I'm excited about it. Get back with the person who invited you here and catch these recordings and link arms with us. This is going to be a ton of fun. Face your dreams, like Steven said, and see what you can make as your reality.
And one last thing, you're not just seeing this, this 15 to 20 minute video here. There are study groups, masterminds, workshops, daily calls, daily webinars that we do to make sure that you are supported if you, for some reason, you find that this is a place you want to check out further. So,
yep. All right, folks, with that being said, on to the next video. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys. Yeah. Thanks, Steven.